So, welcome, Jenny, to Chat on the Sofa. It's really lovely to have you with us, even though we're not on the sofa or on chairs, but that's okay. So, it's really lovely to have you with us. And you're going to tell us a bit about CAP and Food Bank, explain about them, and tell us what 2020 has been like for those things and your involvement, everything. That would be great.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah. So I am a volunteer debt coach for Christians Against Poverty, which is a debt charity which helps people out of debt. I've been doing that now for about 5 years. Officially, I volunteer 1 day a week, but obviously with people's debts and people generally, it spreads over the week. We commit to doing 3 visits with the clients, and during that time it's a fact-finding visit really, and we find out about their finances, their incomings, their outgoings, and then what happens eventually is that the head office will then put a budget together for them, which they can live off, a sustainable budget, and then out of an amount of money that they pay in each month, they also then start to pay off their debts. So CAP sort of take their debts in hand, which obviously for people is a great relief, because, you know, my client yesterday I was speaking to, you know, he said he didn't sleep the night before because he was just worrying about his debts. So it's a process with people. It's not just about their debts. You know, we try and we pray for them. We're allowed to do that because it's a Christian organisation. The whole idea is to get them out of debt, but also to integrate them into the local church. So there's a faith aspect to it as well, which obviously, you know, is I enjoy. So that's CAP. And I will give you some testimonies as well from people later. I'll do that. I'll keep CAP and Food Bank separate because I tend to try and do that in my mind. Otherwise, it does get a bit. You meet some lovely people with CAP. And when you asked me, you know, for testimonies, I was thinking, oh, crumbs, there's so many. And I don't write them down because just so many, you know, and each time I see a client, there's something changed or there's something that's just fantastic, you know, a story to tell, really. Obviously, it's distressing when for them, when we first go, it's quite distressing. But gradually you build up that relationship, get to know the people, and it's difficult to let them go, really. I'll look at the right page because I've got the Food Bank page there.
There must be such a weight, though, lifted off people, when they realise they can actually get help, and things are going to change for them.
Yeah, and it's just, we do have a prayer team that back us up. We obviously don't give out details, but people do pray each week. And it's been on my mind at the moment, it's been people that, haven't got any focus for the day or focus for the week. So a lot of the clients, one of my clients doesn't get up. She hasn't done anyway. She's a Christian. So before I could say to her, get involved with the church, you know, do this. And she was, give her a due. But I mean, during lockdown, churches closed. Other charitable organisations that help people like, their support networks are just shut down, really. So they're resorting to default mode, which is not getting up, really. But I phoned her on Monday expecting, I haven't been out, got up, I'm not doing anything, don't feel very well, it's not a good day. And she said, I've been tidying the house. And she'd tidied the house. And I mean, I've known her for a year or so and she'd never done anything. And and that just really, really encouraged me, that she'd got out of bed. And she was so excited, and it was a birthday and whatever.
That's so good.
Yeah. And then there's another bloke who's not a Christian who I met last week. We had been praying for him, and he said, I think all this God thing, because I mean, I actually asked, where do you stand faith wise? And we do praise, we talk, and sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. But he said, I think there's something in it. And I said, oh yeah, why is that then? And he said, because I had a cousin that came. No, sorry, not a lie. It was a good friend from childhood that came, and he said he came to me, and I've never seen him before. And he said, I think he might have been an angel. And he said he came and he spoke to me and he gave me some perfume, men's perfume, And he said it was exactly the same perfume that I like, or men's
aftershave.
Yeah, I think it might have been perfume, but sort of men's stuff. Yeah. And he said it's exactly the perfume that I would use. And his wife died a year ago, and he said my wife would buy that for me. And I'm thinking, And he said there's no way that he knew that, and it was him that was saying all this, and it was just amazing.
Well,
also, my dog's just escaped for the first time, and he's now bothering me. So he's managed to get out of his crate, which is, he must be Houdini. So
we could hear him in the background, so he wants to say hello as well.
He does. He likes to be involved. And then, another person again I met this week who brought his partner with him. Actually, we had been to the Plaza Centre, and is a Christian, and knew the cafe. And she wants to reconnect, hopefully with SCF, but she's interested in doing the Alpha course.
Oh, fantastic.
So hopefully that's going to happen. The other client who got the perfume, he wanted to do it as well, but he hasn't got a device. And you find that at the moment, people just haven't got devices, haven't got credit, haven't got this, and it just isolates people even more. And obviously for CAP that makes it more difficult, but we work around that. So So I mean, if people want to help with CAP, support CAP, we do have this prayer network. They get an email every week to pray for the clients. Obviously, you can donate financially to either CAP locally or CAP nationally. If anybody wants to become a befriender and go out with us, we always take somebody from the local church with us to befriend the person, to support me and to support the client as well. If they're interested in doing that, then just get in touch with me, really.
Brilliant. People will. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell us about Food Bank?
Yeah. So Food Bank, another hat, put another hat on.
Excellent.
Good at miming or signing.
You're a busy lady, Jenny.
What's signing for hat? Go on, what's signing for hat, Lind? Okay, so I've got another hat on.
Something like that. It could be that, actually.
Should be that, okay. This is my
I think
other
that's
hat.
Crown hat.
Oh, I've definitely got a crown.
You're a princess.
Oh, indeed. I washed my hair this morning. So.
Very good.
And me sparkly earrings as well. That makes me a princess. Okay, so Food Bank. So I help at 2 food banks, one at Bellevue Baptist Church on a Tuesday, one at Shoeby Baptist Church on a Thursday. And every day apart from Sunday, there is a food bank available for people to go to. The way people access the food bank is through a voucher system. The food bank is really good, actually, at supporting people or making sure people are supported, in that it's not a free-for-all. They have to be recommended or sent by an agency. So that could be early years, it could be the probation service, it could be the schools. And at the moment, the schools are actually sending quite a lot of people, seeing an increase in that. CAP, obviously, we can send them as well. The vouchers are easy, accessible. They can just phone actually now. They can actually just phone the CAB, and the CAB can give them this e-voucher over the phone. And then they toddle along, bring the voucher with them, and we're nice and friendly. And we give them a box or a couple of boxes of food. And then because people are so generous, we can give them extras, and we give them toiletries. Nappies are always, especially in Shoebury, are always called for. So it's great. They can come 4 times in 6 months. The idea is to give them 3 days of food. And whereas before lockdown, we could invite them in, we could give them a cup of coffee, have a good chat, have a laugh. People have got to wait outside. But having said that, I try and, you can imagine, try and talk to people, because that's my thing, really. And again, there's if you're brave enough, there's opportunities to pray. I did pray for somebody a couple of weeks ago, and she came back the week before last and said, "Oh, how are you doing?" She said, "Oh, yeah." She said, "I feel a lot better since you prayed for me." And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I can't actually remember who you were, but it doesn't matter. We have 35 people at some time, 18, whatever, and you can't remember everybody. But she, it's just that friendly touch.
Yeah, so good.
That it's easy for us to do, but it means a lot to other people.
Yeah. And they're coming, and some of them feel there might be shame that they're coming, so they don't want to be seen. But actually, when they meet a friendly face and someone who's going to take time, then that must make a whole big difference to them.
It's awful, and I mean, it's awful for everybody. But at the moment, we're getting, I'm not, but households where blokes are usually the breadwinner, and they're coming along they're coming along now, and you know, and it's horrible for women who are, you know, single parents. We get lots of single parents, and that's men and women. But when you get a bloke who's done everything he can, you know, he's been working, they've done everything that they should do, and then, you know, they've lost their job. And at the moment, we're seeing a trickle of people like that, you know, who are really ashamed. Most people are quite ashamed, actually, and embarrassed, and don't think they deserve it, and that's just awful. And my thing is, I don't want anybody going away thinking that they're not worth it, really. And that's, yeah. So if somebody does look not very good that day, I will ask how they are, and I'd ask everybody how they are, but I mean, I will hopefully spend a bit of time trying to, you know, just speak to them, really. Yeah. So at the moment, yeah, I mean, during lockdown, everybody was thinking, oh, we'll get loads of people. We didn't. We're getting a few more people now, but we're not inundated. CAP isn't inundated, and so we're all thinking, you know, when is it going to start? Because it will start. Yeah. So, but we just do week by week, and just take each week at a time, really. Yeah. Well, okay. So we get all sorts. There's another sort of testimony of a bloke a young bloke, actually, really nice. Well, he's nicely dressed, not that matters, but he worked on a building site, and really nice bloke, youngish, and we got on quite well. And you know, I say, no, I'll see you. You know, make sure you come back. You know, we've got loads of food. Please come back. And he said, no, I'm looking for a job. I thought, oh, you know, good luck with that, really. And he said, no, I'm you know, and he said, I'm going for interviews, and I'm going to get a job. And I said, brilliant. I said, so I won't be seeing you much longer. And he came back 3 times, and the last time he came, he said, oh, you know, I've got a job. I won't see you again. And it's just really heartwarming, because those are sort of people are going to get back on their feet. It's not long term. It's just a short term stopgap. And yeah. You know, sometimes it's benefit delays, so people have benefit delays, and that's awful because they've got nothing to live on. And but then we know that in 6 months' time, they're going to, I mean, being on benefits isn't necessarily back on your feet, but they're going to have some sort of income coming in, really. Yeah. So it's, you know, as people say to me, does it get me down? And actually, it doesn't, because I get a buzz out of it, and also I just think there's people, you know, not worse off or better off or whatever. It's just that I think it gets you out in the community, and you know, we're doing something positive in the community, you know, because I mean, obviously SCF support both these, you know, Food Bank and CAP, and we can only do what we can do, but it's a start, really.
Yeah, and it makes a difference to that person. I really think, like, it's in the grand scheme of things, I think it's brilliant, both CAP and Food Bank. Yeah. Are there any, how can people get involved with Food Bank?
Right, okay, because we're limited at the moment for volunteers, because we have to socially distance. At the moment, hands-on in the Food Bank we have got quite a few volunteers. The drivers are often needed to drive to the food from between the food banks. So if people did want to volunteer, it's not up to me to say, because there's loads of other food banks in the area in Southend. So they need to phone the Food Bank Central and speak to a lady called Natasha, and she'll let them know what volunteering opportunities are. We have got probably one volunteering opportunity at Bellevue, but somebody would need to be able to lift, because you have to lift heavy boxes. And then there's possibility of a driving opportunity at Shoebury. I could do with somebody else on the rota. Obviously donate food. You know, if you go to the supermarket, give a little bit extra. I mean, we don't ask for things like toiletries, nappies, but I just see a need for, you know, sanitary ware. So they do ask for tin stuff, but if anybody wants to give like size 6 nappies, I know it sounds very specific, and toiletries. I mean, people haven't got shampoo, you know, they haven't got toilet rolls.
You can find a list, can't you? I think on their website or on Facebook.
On the official list on the website, and then these are extras. Yeah, find the list on the website. That's great. You know, volunteer. That would be good. But at the moment, there are limited opportunities. Yeah.
Brilliant. And any prayer points for Food Bank?
Well, I mean, if people wanted to pray specifically, then there are on the website. It'll tell you exactly what days the food banks meet. I mean, for me, I do a Thursday afternoon, and I do a Thursday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. So, I mean, praying for those sessions would be really good. You know, that God will provide. You know, not just the food. And yeah, just pray that I always have enough helpers. Honestly, because I mean, with the COVID at the moment, you know, people are getting not necessarily getting it, but family members might be sent home from school, or well, not at the moment, but I mean that was the problem. But we've had bereavements in the team, so it's, at the moment we've had quite a few people had to drop out. So yeah, team coherence would be good. That'd be a good prayer. Yeah. And just for good team, good team working together, whatever dynamics, that's the word, both places really. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I think that's the main thing, and obviously for the clients, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Jenny, thank you so much for telling us about CAP and Food Bank. It's really interesting, and just thank you for being such a blessing for many people. So it's made me emotional. I just think it's amazing what you're doing, and that you are such a blessing, Jenny.
Thank you. Thank you very much.